Hola chicos! Today's lesson takes us to the second part of ser versus estar, where we learn all the different reasons. We remember that ser and estar both mean to be, but they both have different conjugations. Soy, eres, es. Somos, soy, son. Estoy, estás, está. Estamos, estáis, están. Estoy, estás, está. Estamos, estáis, están. Ser is used for more permanent situations. Estar is used in more temporary situations. And we looked at some different examples. So for descriptions and characteristics, the things that don't really change from day to day, we're going to use ser. For things that do change from day to day and possibly from moment to moment, we're going to use estar, such as conditions and emotions. And we've practiced with these already, but now we're going to see these in these acronyms. Ser would be doctor, estar would be place, and we're going to dig into each of the letters and their descriptions here. Starting now. Description. We know that that's a physical trait, and we've talked about it already. We've studied it already. Él es muy guapo. Yo soy pelirroja. Mis primos son muy altos. These are all things that we can see. They're all part of the outside appearance. Next up, in doctor, we have occupation. You remember your occupation is your job, whether you get paid for it or not. It's what you do from day to day. Él es arquitecto. This would be a job that he does get paid for. Yo soy estudiante. For this, you get paid in knowledge. Mis primos son meseros en el restaurante. These are jobs. These are occupations. You go pretty much every day or often, and it's not something that should change very often. Next up, we have characteristics, which are personality traits. We've talked about these already. Él es muy tímido. Yo soy amable. Mis primos son muy atrevidos. These are inside traits that don't really change from moment to moment or day to day. One that you've been practicing with since the beginning of Español 1A is time and date. Es la una, son las dos. So talking about time, we're going to use es and son, which are part of ser. ¿Qué día es hoy? Hoy es lunes, 10 de abril. Talking about dates, we're using ser as well. For ser, we also have origin. Origin means where you're from. Think about, you're going to see a place, and then after that, you're going to see the word de. Él es de Canadá. This is not something that changes. If you're from Canada, if you were born there, then you're always going to have been born there. You're always going to be from Canada. Yo soy de Costa Rica. Mis primos son de la India. Relationship or renamed subject. This is the last part of doctor. It doesn't have to be referred to a romantic relationship, but relationship could be how you are related to a different person. Él es mi hermano menor. Yo soy abuela. This last one kind of shows how it renames the subject. Mis primos son los chicos en el Mustang. Now let's move on to the cases of estar. For estar, we're going to talk about position, although really in our classes, we're not going to have a whole lot of talk about position. We're not going to see it all that often. It doesn't really refer to location. It's kind of like how things are situated. So for example, you could say, él está de pie, he's standing. Yo estoy sentada, I'm sitting. When you say those, it doesn't really refer to where you are. It's just how you are settled at the moment. La puerta está cerrada. The door is closed. Different situations could be used for position, but for us, we're really not going to see it very often. Location is one that we are. So location, we're going to have a place, and then after that place, there's going to be a keyword, which is like in, which is in or on. So for example, él es de Canadá, pero está en Los Angeles. The fact that he's in Los Angeles right now, that could change from day to day, hour to hour. Yo soy de Costa Rica, pero estoy en Cuba. The fact that I am in Cuba right now could change from day to day. Mis primos son de la India, pero ahora están en Austin. Yo estoy en la escuela. The fact that I'm here at school could be something that changes in an hour or maybe 4 hours. For estar, we're also going to be using action. Now, this is something that we practiced with a couple weeks ago, present progressive tense. This is when you have some form of estar plus the next verb ending in ando or yendo to say what somebody is doing in this particular moment. Él está participando en la competición. Yo estoy comiendo en un restaurante. Mis primos están durmiendo la siesta. This is for what's happening right now. We've also talked about condition. Él está muy cansado. Yo estoy muy sucia, really dirty. Mis primos están lesionados. They're injured. And we talked about emotion. Él está muy orgulloso. He's really proud. Yo estoy muy emocionada. I'm really excited. Mis primos están muy contentos. They're really happy. So these are things that can potentially change from moment to moment or day to day. Looking at all of these together again, for instead, we're going to use doctor. And, that kind of makes sense. Doctor is like an occupation. For estar, we're going to use place, which, again, kind of makes sense. Place is kind of like location. Get used to giving the reasons for choosing ser or estar because you're going to have a quiz coming up towards the end of the week. For origin, remember, think of a place followed by the keyword de. Location, you're going to have a place followed by the keyword en. For action, you're going to have the next verb after estar ending in ando or yendo. And then relationship could sometimes have the keyword of de as well. Buena suerte, chicos. Work hard, grow those brains, and we'll come back together for a lesson soon. Hasta luego.